Hey guys, let's get more news about Warriors, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Warriors Stephen Curry's opinion on Dub's sacrificing future at trade deadline. Stephen Curry has given so much to the Golden State Warriors franchise, putting together an incredible career that would make him a first-ballot Hall of Famer. However, as the team figures out their current situation by the NBA trade deadline next month, the superstar guard is aligned with the idea of maintaining stability in the long term. Following the Warriors' game against the Toronto Raptors, The Athletic's Warriors reporter Anthony Slater spoke to Curry about the team's potential activities ahead of the trade deadline on February 6. His response demonstrated having logical sense be the determining factor in whether the franchise should make certain trades or not. There's a responsibility of keeping the franchise in a good space, long-term, Curry said, per Slater. If there was a situation that made sense for our team, I'm pretty sure we'd know about it. That's how we've always operated. Draymond Green also provided his thoughts on the team's approach to the deadline, emphasizing the need for the front office to have poise and not make decisions that risk the franchise's future. The beautiful part about being in the space that we're in is, Steve Kerr, Steph Curry and myself all disagree with mortgaging off the future of this organization, saying that we're going for it right now. Bad teams do that. Bad organizations do that. We're not neither one, Green told Yahoo Sports on Thursday night following the Warriors' 107-104 win over Detroit. So for us, if something is going to happen, it needs to be the right thing. We're not going to jump and make the wrong decision because we panicked. That's how you set your organization back 5 to 7 years. Related Golden State Warriors news article continues below. Draymond Green has bad organization's admission on Warriors trade deadline plans. Warriors Draymond Green makes painful admission on Jusuf Nurkic incident. Despite a game-high 26 points from Stephen Curry, the Warriors fell 104-101 on the road to the Toronto Raptors on Monday night. They missed Draymond Green's presence, who was ruled out due to a back injury. Despite having the lead going into the fourth quarter, Toronto outscored them 29-23 in the last 12 minutes to come away with the victory. With the loss, Golden State saw their win percentage fall below .500. It marks a significant shift from the 12-3 start they had after the first 15 games of the season. Since then, they have lost 17 of their last 24 games as they sit outside the playoff picture in the Western Conference. Warriors vs Raptors player grades. Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins score big in return. The Golden State Warriors lost a heartbreaker on Monday night, losing 104-101 to the Toronto Raptors after their former player, Chris Boucher, dropped 17 fourth-quarter points to help Toronto finish off a comeback. Another painful loss. Now let's grade the players, and we'll make it quick tonight. As always, grades are based on my expectations for each player, with a B grade representing the average performance for that player. Alright, I'll say it, this whole Buddy Hield can play defense but not shoot thing is really throwing me for a loop. What is going on? I'm so confused. A really good defensive game for Buddy. A really bad offensive game. That might be encouraging going forward, but he's here to score, and he's really struggling with it. Warriors vs Raptors player grades. Steph Curry, Andrew Wiggins score big in return. The Golden State Warriors lost a heartbreaker on Monday night, losing 104-101 to the Toronto Raptors after their former player, Chris Boucher, dropped 17 fourth-quarter points to help Toronto finish off a comeback. Another painful loss. Now let's grade the players, and we'll make it quick tonight. As always, grades are based on my expectations for each player, with a B grade representing the average performance for that player. Alright, I'll say it, this whole Buddy Hield can play defense but not shoot thing is really throwing me for a loop. What is going on? I'm so confused. A really good defensive game for Buddy. A really bad offensive game. That might be encouraging going forward, but he's here to score, and he's really struggling with it. Wiggins returned to the court after 2 games missed due to personal reasons. And while he couldn't notch his first win on his home Canadian soil, he was pretty clearly one of the best Warriors all night, with very good offense and solid defense. It's fun seeing TJD get a chance to play genuine starters minutes. Unfortunately, he didn't have it in this game. He couldn't create separation, had as many turnovers as points, and struggled on defense. A fairly mediocre game from Schroeder. Nothing special on offense, but he did run the ship fairly well, and his defense was decent. Still waiting for things to click. It's hard with mid-season additions. There are a lot of reasons why the Warriors lost, but Curry having 26, 7, and 7 certainly isn't one of them. The turnovers have really been an issue lately, but, not to excuse Curry, they feel more the result of him having to shoulder too big of a load than anything else. A very solid game for the chef. Bummer it couldn't be rewarded with a win. Draymond Green's updated injury status for Warriors-Raptors. Through the Golden State Warriors' incredible dynasty, many argue that no player was more important than star forward Draymond Green. While superstar point guard Steph Curry is the best player in franchise history, Green has often been the key to success for Golden State. The 4-time champion, 4-time All-Star, and 2016-17 NBA Defensive Player of the Year has as decorated of a career as many could ever wish for, but is often criticized for his playstyle and aggressiveness. Green, 34, is a former second-round pick who has likely put himself in the Hall of Fame and will forever be a Warriors legend. This season, Green is averaging 8.7 points, 6.2 rebounds, 5.6 assists, 1.1 steals, and 1.2 blocks per game, but with poor 41.7/36.2/61.5 shooting splits. Green continues to do so much for this Warriors squad but is certainly taking steps back from his prime. The Warriors are traveling up north to face the Toronto Raptors on Monday, but will be doing so without their veteran bulldozer. Green has been ruled out of Monday's matchup with an illness. Green has already missed 5 games this season, and the Warriors are 2-3 without him. Now, for Monday's matchup in Toronto, the Warriors will be without Green, Jonathan Kuminga, Gary Payton II, and Brandon Podziemski. The Warriors have already been sliding down the standings recently, falling to 19-19 on the season, as they cannot afford to lose on Monday against the Raptors and fall below .500 for the first time this season. Playing without one of the best players in franchise history is certainly not ideal in what feels like a must-win game for the Warriors, but the Raptors have lost 16 of their last 17 games, so realistically they should not have any trouble. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Draymond Green? Leave your opinion in the comments.